Yep. Yep. Okay. Right. Oh, onegaishimasu. Alrighty, great. Let's just loosen up a little bit. You should grab the arms a bit to the side. At the top. The bottom. A little bit from the back. Side to side. So the feet go into the rotation. Great, we'll do the spine. A little bit bigger coming up with the arms. And to the center. Releasing towards the bottom. Take your time to really up. And chin up. One more, chin up. Down. Back into the center. Nice and easy, reaching up, just the side. side. More each side. Gently around in a circle. Changing direction. Right, coming up to the top again. Just sticking one leg out. Sorry. Changing the leg. To the side. Changing the side. Drop and then into the center. Great. Send the hands on your knees, rolling through the spine. Great, reaching down one side, and with the other, reaching up to the ceiling. Alternating the side each time. Great, coming down to the middle, walking the hands forward, stretching the left back. Great, bring in one hand up, supporting it with the shoulder. Reaching up. Side. Great, walking the feet together. Bring the hands back. Bring me up to the top. Rolling the knees out. Away. Front and back. Forward to the ground, rocking into the hip, front and back. Great, bringing the same hand down to the foot, reaching up with the opposite hand. Spiral through the body. Great, slowly release it, changing the side. rock into the hip. Bringing the hand down, draw into a spiral. Great. Okay, release it, bringing the feet back, hands down. And just walk out the back heels. Nice, and slowly bringing the knees up to the elbows, one at a time. Great. Stretching back again, one more time. Great. Walking the feet together again. Relax down. Release the spine, release the head. Slowly rolling back up. Great. Just loosen off the shoulders a little bit. Roll in every direction. Great. Roll them to back. And change direction. Yeah. Okay, bring the feet shoulder width apart, just reaching up to the top, swinging down. Going back into the center, bringing the arms out to the side, and just swinging them across the body, dropping the weight down. Great, so I'm going to twist into it, taking it to the shoulder and the hip. Right back into the center, and then just getting the arms swinging front and back. Great, and then adding a rotation into it, so the arms go all one way. Roll the hips of the movement. Just alternate to the side every so often. Great. Back into the center. Just release out the arm. Get the fin that is connected into the hip. So build the kind of pressure up there, into the ground. So you're still using that kind of dropping feeling. Try and match the out in the arm, the down to the arm. Everything moves in the arm. Great, and then go into a raising. So again, use the ground, raise it up, and then drop it in. Raise it up, drop it in. The key thing is that the raise is going to again press into the ground. So just increase that feeling out there. Work with the connection in the feet. The easier way is the same foot and hand. So if you think about pressing the right hand with the left, right hand with the right foot, and then the release, drop it to the other foot. So play kind of stretching at one side, and then let it drop out of that foot. So you get a kind of swing. Yeah. So as you drop into that foot for this side, keep that pressure in it so you can raise it there. Basically start to take this into fluid exercise. That's it. Okay, and then just play with the hip kind of, you're gonna sink in there and then shift it into the foot. You kind of roll in, and you kind of roll in at the back. That, and then shift into the hip there, and then just release the whole leg. Kind of working with the hand movement now. Just go to like kind of shift the hip. Nice and flexible. And you can use either that kind of movement out, or you can use it as a kind of raise. Just kind of explore. Kind of reaching out, or striking over. And just play with both sides, shifting. Nice. Okay, now just keep the feet down, but play with again the foot and the feet connecting to the hands. So you're going to play with that right foot pressing right hand, left foot pressing left hand. So play with whichever hand you send out, link it with the foot, chain it together with the foot. So just play again like a gentle kind of push out, but feel again that it's going to come in. The pressure here, but keep it nice and light, nice and flexible. Just like in that connection. Then just switch each side ever so often. Just feel a real kind of connection. Hand to foot, hand to foot. Just mix them in. So. So. Good. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, great. Now think about kind of corkscrew motion through the hand. So use that same chaining of the hand, but think about now sending it through a spiral. So rather than just to kind of press down and then press out, think about a spiral through the hip and a spiral through the forearm. So especially, yeah, and again, just play with both sides. So you've got the tricky one now, the back. So think about the back is also going to spiral into the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Again, prioritizing the downwards connection over the other. Good. When you've got a feel for one, just start to bring them kind of together, just pulsing, alternating. And then start to play with bringing them both together so that they're both kind of spiraling in at the same time. That's it. That's it. That's it. If you lose the connection in the arm, just go back to that exercise or that exercise. You can do that the same. So just a really simple drop the weight, press out. And then that. Yeah. So this is the kind of active side. What I want to do now is play with a sense of receiving with it. So if you imagine this is like pressure out, imagine you've got pressure coming in. So you're going to roll with it. Again, try and make a connection. Just a really simple one is the front and the back at the same side. So right hand, right foot. And again, you can start this with just a simple kind of pressure kind of coming in. Imagine just kind of receiving it. Kind of straight line. But again, imagine the pressure down, pressure down. Push it down, and do the same with the backhand as well. Or you can even imagine like this kind of pressure coming in, and you're going to drop it down, pressure coming in, drop it down. That's it. That's it. Just work both hands, both sides, and then changing sides with it. That's it. And when you feel it in one, play with bringing them both together and alternating them. Just really simple, straight line pressure. Into the body, let it go down. You're really receiving it into the feet. Yeah. And again, once you've got this in a way like straight line, think about now spiraling through it. So think of the forearm, again, it's going to kind of roll. And also, again, the hip's going to kind of roll as well. So let the, basically come in from the shoulder and the hip, but let the whole joint now kind of rotate through it, spiral through it. Again, work with the idea of like pressure coming in. I'm just going to kind of roll it through the body. But again, focus on the same side connection. So that hip and that hand really kind of rolling with it. So imagine that if the pressure was coming in, you're just going to kind of roll the body around it. Just rolling it up. That's it. That's it. Again, work both sides, front and back leg. And you can also work this both ways, you know, because you can spiral both ways with the arm. I find myself a bit tricky. Yeah, and when you've got it, bring them together so you can play with them like both together that way, or you can play with alternating. And you also have lots of combinations in this case. One can spiral out, one can spiral in. They can both spiral out. You can alternate one and then the other together. So you can really explore this again, but just focus on in that same foot, same hand connection. Shifting the side. But really imagine kind of pressure coming into the body. So a little bit of kind of tension through the system. So the joints are open, but not kind of too loose. That's it, that's it. Great. Okay, keep that connection going and just start to shift the feet now. So again, focusing on just kind of receiving out or receiving in, sorry. Receiving in. Just playing with gently shifting the legs. Get stuck with both hands, just go back to one. Okay, this is a nice few simple movements. So this is like an Ikkyo starting. So if you have the right foot, right hand forward, you're going to think about this one rolling back with it. So rolling back, you've got that receiving in, and then think about extending out with the hand. So just focusing on the kind of shift in and out again. So right foot, right hand, roll to the back, coil it through, and then drop it in, keeping the right foot forward. Just kind of sliding in, sliding out with it. And work both sides with it. You've got to roll back, roll in, roll back, roll in, roll back, roll in. Okay, now work with stepping the feet. So you're going to now, this right foot, right hand is going to roll back with it. So you're going to step back with it. That, and then play with stepping into it. So kind of stepping in and back. So you can keep the same side foot, kind of roll back, roll it. So this is rolling, receiving, and rolling in, extending. Mainly focusing on the front arm. Once you've got that connected, you start to think about the back arm's also going to kind of fit into it. Rolling. Yeah, that sense of coiling through. Both sides with it. Okay, great. Now play with this, making it a little bit more dynamic. So you're going to basically do this, roll into it if you do it. And you've got two choices with this. You can catch the movement and pass it forward, like in that kind of Ikkyo, or you can do this one, we just then kind of roll it back and then change the leg, stepping in with it. So the key part, just that first part is now kind of dynamic as you go in. So rather than just receiving back, you're going in and then receiving it. And coming in, so you're rolling into the movement. Take it out. So you can think about like kind of Ikkyo when I work in that kind of area. or 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒃. Go into a little bit deeper, add in a rotation. Basically, 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒃. So nice. Okay, perfect. Just take a bokken. I'm going to do the similar. So you're just going to use the bokken now with the feeling you want to extend your feeling into it. So same way like we use the bokken normally for 𝒂𝒂𝒏 work. But play now, we're going to work again, just start with these kind of simple movements again. But get the feeling out. You don't need to grip super tight, but play with an idea that the hands are kind of connecting onto the bokken, so they're not going to kind of slide too much. You want that kind of feeling, and then just work again. Just play with same foot, same hand, but let the hands kind of work together now as well. So first think about pushing, just pushing out. So kind of pushing out, front foot, back foot. And let the hands kind of work together now. Change sides a little bit. That's it. So you also now play really with the feeling that you're taking the movement, extending it beyond the hand. So imagine it's really connected in. So you try and feel the whole sword or the whole bokken basically in the movement all the time. That's it. That's it. So, okay. Good. So it's nice. Right. Yeah. Great, and then shift the focus again to the idea of it being pushed in. If you imagine someone on the other side basically pushing the bokken into the body, but yeah, think about kind of grounding that feeling down. So as you go, as that pressure kind of builds up, think about just letting it settle into the body. The key on this again, try not to lose the connection in the sword in the hand. So keeping that feeling of the connection into the sword as it drops into the body. Go. So. Okay, great. Okay, great. Start to bring those two together, and again, start to play with a little bit of spiral work in the body. So, a little bit of spirals. You can focus on just one arm and let the other kind of follow it. Or once you've got that kind of feeling, you can start to really mobilize both at the same time, and they can do the same kind of spiral movement, or they can start to kind of oppose each other as well. So, Yeah, try and keep the feeling in the whole walk. So. That's it. Yes. Yeah, the main feeling with this that you want to work on that's good for basically keeping the feet down is that you don't want to feel the need to kind of push forward from the body. So the idea of this is basically that you can hold your ground later. So in a way, this is the beginning of it. It's also in a way the advanced training because you're basically going to hold your ground as you do it. So obviously, someone's pressing in, the easier way is for me to move with the pressure. So in a way, this is more of an advanced movement, but play with the idea that you don't really need to go anywhere with it. So you're receiving pressure in and out, one pressing pressure out, but you're not really going anywhere, but you want the body to be mobile through it without feeling that I need to do this kind of stuff. Yeah. That's perfect. Great, perfect. And then the key now is keep that sense that you're not really moving with it. You're just going to shift the feet, but keep the idea that you're not really, you don't want to go into this kind of work where you're kind of up and go. As soon as you feel that, just start to drop it down again. So make the foot movement simple or short footwork, but feel that you're, again, receiving and pressing out. And you can work with one idea, just kind of pressing out, or rolling back, or you can just blend them together. The main thing now is feel at the center, the body's organizing around the sword. So trying to really affect the sword through the contact with the hands. Center now do all the work. So you should feel most of the work's been done. The hips, the waist. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay, great. Take this into an Ikkyo. So what I want you to do with the Ikkyo one, because most of us tend to be kind of front, kind of dominant, we go to these kind of positions, especially with the Ikkyo. So play with the grip, just gently, as if you're kind of pulling the sword apart, as if you want to kind of split it into. And what you want to introduce into the shoulders is a sense of width through the shoulder. So you don't be too wide with the arm. You want to be in the kind of grip where you would naturally take the Ikkyo. So about the length of the hand to the forearm, or to the elbow, sorry. But just have that sense that you're going to press it down and then play with this movement we did before, that sense of rolling back, keep that tension and then rolling it in, rolling back, roll it in. But all the time in this one, think of the shoulders especially kind of wide as you do it. So it's just really easy to kind of close the shoulder out and kind of lose it. So just think of this slowly. In, coming into it. And if you want, you can add that step in, but the key feeling is now that transition, keeping the shoulders wide, and again, transferring the feeling of the body right into the whole of the body. You do it. Yes. Good. You want the right amount of tension, so not too tight with the grip, but not too loose. Right. Good. Great. We're going to say this again a little bit more like this kind of 𝒕𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. Don't worry too much about the arms again. Just kind of drop them down. You're going to now. So you're going to step back here. Again, that sense of receiving back, and then roll the hip through it. So it's not quite 𝒕𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 where you kind of have the cross hands, but keep getting more focusing on the core and the transition, the extension into the weapon, and then just think about kind of stepping through with it this way. So not going to the rotation work. So roll back with it. Keep that feeling of the shoulders being wide. That, and then roll the hip underneath. Step through. So it's more like a kind of 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 version where you do like that, and then come through with the arm. Over. Roll back with it. Keep the shoulders wide. Roll into spiral. Press the connection through it. So. And in a really simple way, just stepping the leg back, stepping forward. Simple. Letting the arms follow the center. Yeah. Right. Okay, perfect. So we're going to play now with the hand. So you want to again keep that sense of width through the shoulder, but play now. The first one going to the 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. You're going to go to the front hand. Is going to in this movement, this receiving down. You're going to roll the hand back. So imagine like a category. You're going to rolling down the grip here, and then you're going to switch it over this way, and then play with just coming into the 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. So nice and simple with it. You start with the kind of thumbs together. Here, and then think about rolling one side back. That, change the grip, roll it over, and then just work your way into that sense of the extension. You can step into it that way. So you've got the thumbs coming together, roll down it. Again, get the thumb at the center really connecting to that, and then rolling into it. So a little bit more dynamic with the hand shift. That's it, nice. Nice. Perfect. Okay, good. We'll play with the 𝒕𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. So again, start from that same position, thumbs together. Now, as you step back, let that hand roll underneath and take underneath. So it's basically opposite the one we've just done, taking the top. Taking that hand. Now you're taking this hand underneath. So you've got the back hand now going below, underneath. And then just play that you can transition into this hand. You can take it like you would take a 𝒕𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 and stepping in, dropping into it. Or you can take it to a kind of step through, rolling with the elbow, or really anything from here. But it's more now about this kind of transition back, and then in. You can take it to a rotation, or you can take it straight in. Back. Like that. So. Yeah, the key with these first is think about receiving backwards. So the first one in the 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒏 is basically just dropping the body backwards. The second one now with the more like a 𝒊𝒂𝒏, think about just drawing the foot back this way. So you've got the first one there, that hand, no, back hand, back foot. So front hand, front foot. Just playing with this in this kind of area. So you kind of go 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒏, 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒏, 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒏. But the idea in this one is you're kind of receiving back, just to make it really simple to start. Yeah. Simple-ish. Right. Nice. Great. Nice. Perfect. Okay, perfect. And then just take this into a dynamic way. So simple dynamic, think about stepping into the connection. So you're going to take that back. If it's the 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒏, you're taking that dynamically this way. And if it's the 𝒊𝒂𝒏, you're taking that hand this way. This way. But just play now with a feeling like you're entering in. Change it. Wow. Nice. Okay, dokie, great. Take the sword like a sword. So you're going to take it in the basic grip. So play with the same movements now. Keep it dynamic. But again, the benefit of the sword now, or using the sword like this, you're really going to focus on the center whip. So try and avoid it being above the sword. Really keep that feeling that you're basically rolling the center through it, but really play with movements with it. So you can do the same idea, kind of rolling back, flexing in, rolling back, slicing in. Keep that kind of roundness that you've got in the empty handwork. But just think about now applying it with the feeling of slicing, cutting. Keep it with the kind of influence of the Taijutsu work. So. Very nice. Great, last 30 seconds. Just play with, again, going back to a static position. Again, play with this connection again. So this kind of thing you were doing before, the arms, nice and loose. Feel that you can start to kind of concentrate it. So the movement becomes smaller and smaller. And you just want to start to feel that the hips, the waist, basically communicating into the handwork. So again, letting the feeling go to the tip in terms of a kind of spiral through it, and letting the connection go to the feet, into the ground. So feel the connection go beyond the hands into the sword, and beyond the feet into the ground. That's it. Right, and then just start to, once you've got that, start to work with a kind of winding. So you're kind of winding the end of the sword. Think about kind of coiling it, where you let the hips in the center basically coil it. Connect the hands into it. Right. Just coil it. Just work with coiling it both ways. You want a nice kind of dense, heavy feeling, but importantly also making the bottom kind of light. That's it. That's it. Perfect. Just let the connection breathe in and out. So play with it on both sides as well. That's it. Perfect. Last few seconds, just make it smaller and smaller until it's kind of super slow, and then just hold it. Cool. All right, great. And then release it. There we go. Okay, we're finished there. So, great. Great. Domo, arigato.
Oh, arigato gozaimasu.
Great.